Brand new episode, brand new week. Kenzie on the mic.
Oh, well, baby.
Flamingos podcast.
Podcast, man. That's a shit. Let's go.
Yo, Fuad, how about you? You do it.
It's an intro?
Yeah.
Look, Mom, I made it.
لا this is the intro to the... I will take it.
It's
I will take it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of the Flamingos podcast. It's a WAP,
Yeah.
and we have here with us
Do it, Fuad.
Raha.
Yeah.
Fuad.
Yo, you should let her speak first, bro. Come on.
No, it's fun.
He's gonna get me. I didn't know I came to the roast.
All right.
What?
Yeah, sorry.
No, go ahead.
This
go
is day 4 from Bred event. It's a brand new day. We're almost there.
Yes.
Tomorrow is the last day. This has been full of action. This has been a lot. This has been too much. But it's fun.
Nice.
It is fun. My voice is gone. I was shouting everywhere yesterday. And once again, shout out to everybody that put this together. Shout out, man. Shout out to DCT. Shout out to Bred.
Hypebeast.
Shout out to Hypebeast. Shout out to JXR
Oh, that's
Racer.
nice.
Shout out to JXR Records for this beautiful area that we're recording from. Shout out to you, whomever is watching. Shout out to Fuad Raha for taking this with us.
Shout out to Flamingos.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Abu Dhabi. Shout out to
Amin.
Khalidia.
Guys, Fuad and Raha, if you would give an intro about yourselves, a quick one, and then we're gonna start talking, the program. Fuad and Raha, let us know. Let the people that don't know who Fuad and Raha are.
I'll let
Just come for
I'll let
snacks.
this happen.
That's what's line usually.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead.
You start? You start from your side.
We have coordination problems over here, but it's all cool.
All right. We're not comfortable on the mic or on the camera. We're a little bit shy, but my name
Yeah,
is
that's why I
Fuad.
asked, is there a camera guy before the recording?
Yeah, no, because you don't have a makeup and a wardrobe. So my name is Fuad. I'm a creative director and founder of Duet, Print Art Repeat, as well as CC Company with our partner for him. This is my wife Raha. I'll let her go introduce herself.
Yeah,
What a humble introduction.
yes.
Let's go, Raha.
Yeah, my name is Raha and founder of Duet Studios and with my partner and a husband Fuad, and also for CC Company that we founded with Fahim together with Fuad and me. Basically, if I can say shortly, what we do is everything creative in the city. Everything creative is in our, like whatever has to do with any creativity, our hands on. So that is, I mean, for me, it's so hard to put ourselves in a box of doing something, one thing. So
You know what?
anything you question, we're like, yes, why not? We can do that.
This is why this humble introduction, I didn't like it. I'm sorry, guys, but I'll give a small proper one from me knowing you guys now. What, a year, maybe
about,
less,
About 18 months.
something like that,
Yeah.
right? Fuad Raha, one of my favorite creatives that I met in Dubai. Humble people, behind a lot of creative work that I've seen in Dubai, behind a lot of opportunities that I've seen given as well in Dubai to creators, to influencers as well. They're very humble. They're very nice people. They even have their house open for every creative that wants to come by and visit to create. They have their roof over graffiti. They invited everybody that does graffiti in Dubai to just spray over there. Like, come on, guys, you don't speak about that.
But it's,
But
It's very hard to speak about.
and honestly, it's something that I've always wanted to do is really give you your flowers, guys. You,
Thank
to
you.
me, are really one of the sweetest, nice people that I've met over here. Hardworking, non-stop, and that is something great to see. And yet, you don't have that ego. You don't have that ego, and I'm proud. And I'm proud to meet people like those. I'm happy to see people that exist like this in our universe. And you know how sick nowadays our universe is. But yeah,
And that kind of sorry, but that kind of brings me to a question: is how did you guys meet? Like how?
We were best friends for over 4 years, and
Okay.
we were together now over 15 years. Now we're together.
Wow, mashallah.
Yeah. We
Yeah, I
met-
mean, she always see it as a best friend, but I put myself into a friend zone. From day one, she walked into the company that I worked, and I knew she was the one. And from amongst
she walked
our,
in the door and you're like, oh,
yeah, it's like she's the one.
yeah,
Yeah.
he just said, "Hi, you have beautiful hair." That time I had, I was very shy. I went to the mirror. I remember. I was like, "Really?"
is it really beautiful?
So you've been together for 15 years, I guess. And how did you find? Did you find that that sharing the same passion closed you more together and helped you to grow and make that impact? We heard a lot about you from Yad, but I just want to hear from you. How has that relationship impacted the growth of your career?
It's crazy. Our background is luxury retail management. So I've been working for a lot of the brand from LVMH portfolios to the rest of the brand, and she came from Kering brands. They own the likes of Gucci and Balenciaga. So with that background, we were doing similar job in the region, and to our own design studio or the painting studio that we have that we work together. It's crazy that we actually finish each other's painting to the point to what it's nice to have a partner that you can actually work with and can call you out in your bullshit right there. You know what I mean? So you can improve on. And then she has always been that supportive and with any crazy ideas that we might have. And a lot of the time when we brainstorm, we come up with the ideas and then we take it off. And when we go so high, and sometimes she calm me down and like that's
It's a balance.
So there is a
possible or
balance.
not. And when we come into a paper putting budgets or execution, that's from my side. I picked it up. Okay, now we need to calm down with the ideas and see how much of the money can be spent and make it realistic.
And definitely sometimes there will be a disagreement on when you're working on the same project, for example, because you mentioned that you
Is
you
this
guys
PG?
continue-
Yeah, it is.
No, I'm just-
Yeah,
I'm
it
just-
is.
No, the thing is, when we work together and we're partners, so we try to divide that. So when
The
it's
tasks.
work, like okay, now we have to have a meeting as a partners,
Yeah.
not like
Husband and wife.
So
Okay.
they're like he gives me a feedback, I give him feedback, Fahim gives us feedback. So that's how we work. But when it comes to family, then it's like okay, we switch to
husband and a wife.
Then there you can take it things personal and stuff. But when it comes to work, it's a work. So we don't like we differentiate that.
Nice.
Yeah, after we make an executive decision on the creative direction, she will tell you take out the trash and you have to get up and take out. There is no way.
Take it out on you,
Yeah,
on
it's
house
like,
chores and
yeah.
stuff that you have
Take
to
out
do.
the trash,
Oh, by
you
the
take
way,
out the trash.
you forgot to get the milk
Yeah,
today.
exactly. That's the way it is. You know.
Yeah, that's a way. Good way for a payback.
Yeah.
I mean, so you guys, did you grow up in Dubai? When did you start all of this?
You wanna go on?
Creatively speaking, not professionally. And also you coming to Dubai. When was it?
So I used to come here with my mom in 90s.
Okay.
So she used to have a tour agency, so she used to bring tourists.
Okay.
So I remember in 1996 was my first time when I came here, and UAE was always like it was a dip in my heart. I remember even like I had a toy that came from here and it smelled like UAE. And from that day, I knew like I'm gonna be back.
It's destined to be.
Actually, there is a nice story. She didn't buy me one doll that I wanted. It was expensive. I was so mad at her. I was like around 7 years old. And I told her, you'll see, I'll come back myself and buy it myself. So I ended up coming, but I didn't get that doll yet. Anyways, I came around 15 years back, directly worked with a fashion group that time called Binhendi. That's where I started. Then I continued with the Caring company. I worked with Gucci
Okay.
and like fashion, art, was always my passion. I knew that I have to do something creative. I always been drawing, but I'm self-taught artist, and that's where Fuad used to also like we used to show each other our drawings and share our visions and things like that. And and while working in corporate, still we were working in more of a creative side.
On a side, as a side project, a passion project.
No, no,
that you
no.
guys
Even
have.
in fashion, we were working more of a creative side,
Okay,
like
yeah,
visual, visual merchandising.
Okay.
We did events for the luxury
But that's in a
brands.
corporate world.
Yep.
That's
Yes,
what I mean.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay.
yes. That's where I think the corporate world shaped us, because artists, you know how loose usually artists are and
True.
stuff. But the corporate world actually shaped us. Well, how to work with the deadlines and everything
Yes.
has to be, you know.
It made it more professional.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that we learn over the years. Everything else that actually we learn from, for us being able to do what we do now is from our corporate life, working with the brands. There is a lot you can learn how the brands look themselves and how they can grow. I mean, you can pick up any brand and I can tell you they have a chart that says where they want to be. And then they
Okay.
put the brand, for example, if you pick up a brand, there is Louis Vuitton is the North Star, and then they want to be here in a few years, and they want to get there. And
Okay.
so there is a goal, and they want to get there.
Even in
And then-
personal life, we implement that as well.
To
yeah,
your-
and then
to your
even
own.
now, it's the way we set it up is like we launched. We set up our own company about 2 years ago, and then now we have we're here, or we want to be here in a few years, and then the North Star is, we want to be up there.
But moving on, when you guys first started your own creative work, your own passion projects, when was that?
So
Specifically.
Him last year.
And how do you see the culture itself creatively? Was it at that time and today?
it's crazy. In the past, I don't know, 18 months to 2 years, a lot of things have shifted. I think all of us, we came out of the pandemic with aha moment.
Yeah.
Like I can do this, and you've been having something inside cooking. Maybe you don't have it out, but you've been thinking about it, and you have that moment of the pandemic to go and do it, try it. And I think when you go back to work, it doesn't feel right to work for one organization when you
Give
have
everything that you have to that one organization.
Exactly. So a lot has changed, and then now people learn how to collaborate and work longer. Even though back in the day you work for 9 to 6, and then you finish your work, you go and you do your thing. But nowadays is you can run two things in parallel. Maybe we all growing up, and then there is more now accessibility. You see other people doing other things, and then this idea you've been parking it on the side. You said, this is the moment that I can do. I mean, one of the guy, when the first time we met with Freak a few years ago, he said, what do you do? What do you do? And that was the question that he threw, and I told him that we work for a luxury brands, and he said, no, what do you do for yourself? That hits me, which means is he's doing something in parallel to the music. So I'm like, I think we should start to do this for ourselves on the side.
For me also, since we've been working with luxury brands, and we had so many friends who's creative, who's designers, and they always end up coming asking advices, and we kind of realized we have so much knowledge, and we found the gap that there is no platforms for those creatives here, and then they mostly used to complain like nobody support us. It's always about international brands, international artists, and we're like, if we could let big brands like Gucci or Louis Vuitton or other brands be in this region where they are right now, we could do the same for our friends who's like super creative and super talented. And we're like, why don't we share this knowledge? Why don't we try to create that platform and help each other and grow together?
So that was the birth of Duet.
No, Duet actually, birth of Duet start with like humble artistic. Like we paint sometimes, and we were like, let's have like creative page. That's how it started. But slowly it shifted with all these issues. Like you have a problem and you try to find solution. That's how it's shaped. Yeah.
And going from that place, from that initiative that you guys had, that idea, and we had Fahim here yesterday in a talk.
Shout out for him.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you give us more of an idea about the pop-ups and your work with Fahim?
Well, we always thought you don't need to wait 11 months to 12 months to celebrate local talent, creative, just us, and we want to be able to hang out. So what we did was we come up with the idea of pop, being able to bring music, art, fashion, and design, and just celebrate us in a way that the way we know, because the way we know is how the luxury brands are looked after. So we want to elevate these, and the location that maybe were not available for everybody. One of the reasons that we didn't focus on the branding, like we didn't call it anything else but pop, because we want to pop on the place you don't expect us to pop. This is one of the reasons that the first pop that we did was Dubai Mall, and the second one was Museum of Future. And we have great people that works with us. We hit Salt and Public. Shout out these guys.
To them,
It was easy. We have this idea. We want to work with you guys. They always facilitate a lot of the.
Someone told me at that time that they were going to get the Flamingos podcast, but it didn't happen.
From what I
Just
remember,
because-
you've been DJing the whole night at the Museum of Future.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's one person.
You
But-
didn't bring the logo with you.
It just happened.
You should have
And at
brought the
that
logo, huh?
You just
No,
didn't bring
it
the
just
logo.
happened. I just walked in. One of the DJs was tired and he's like, "Yo, you wanna take over?" I was like, "Sure."
Yeah, you have great talent, by the way. That's great.
That's a great example. Sorry to cut you off. That the way we do is you come in and approach and say, hey, let's do something. We're always down to do it, and we also approach some people and say we always looking to collaborate, because I think collaboration takes you a dimension that you've never seen it. And especially the younger ones. You don't need to be established or you have something else. You have an idea, just pop in and have a conversation and see what we can do with. This is what the whole reason that we took a booth in this event, a pop for those brands could not afford to take a booth, but they have a smaller collection that they want to show and represent themselves. And then we created a pop, a mini version where they can display their product and showcase.
That's dope.
Again, I just want to ask a question. Again, back to the relationship questions. With all the contributions that you guys are putting, all the work and efforts, and the opportunity that you guys are giving to the local brands here and the local artists, just like what you have explained in Pop, all of these are extra hours that you are investing and you are taking from your lives. How do you balance that? And I believe you guys have kids. How do you balance that? And especially you mentioned the 9 to 6 and then the extra hustle and all of these hours, all of these efforts. How do you manage that?
First of all, I just want to clarify one thing. We're not only giving opportunities for those brands, but they're giving us opportunities too. It's
Sure.
like together.
Definitely.
You know, this is one thing. Okay, regarding family and everything.
I can tell she's the one who organizes a lot of things. I can tell.
Yeah, I think without her I'll be mess.
Yeah, I don't know how we do it actually.
It's a gift, I guess.
Yeah, I think our son is really supportive and understanding kid. We are so lucky that he is how he is with like family life and stuff. Once we get married, we never had this. You know, usually people get married and they just cut off everything like the normal life they had,
True.
and then they just like, no, we have to act different. We never had that. Maybe because our families and culture, like we first of all we're different nationalities married too. That's a beautiful thing, by the way. And I think if many people will do that, there will be always peace in the world. Yeah. This is one, and second is that maybe because our culture is different, so we kind of stayed as friends, and we never changed after marriage. So it's like I don't know.
So marriage right now to you is more like a paper, and that's
Yeah,
it, that
yeah,
you're together.
just legally.
Yet you are still best friends.
Yeah, and nothing changed. Like the day we've been together, we never did a wedding. because we kind of, I don't know, I think it was silly. I think we always believe like weddings are silly. It's not for us, it's for people usually. Our parents were mad about it, but you know, we tricked them saying, yeah, we'll do it later. But yeah, yeah, I think we never shifted that life, and you just take one step after another, and that's how.
The other thing is when we hang out, we are hanging out with people that wanted to create something, and a lot of the people that in our circle are the people who always have an idea, wants to do something, and from one hangout we said let's do something, and we go and do it. And a lot of the time when we go and hang out, it's probably one of the artists is doing a music video, and then we just hanging out and then jump in and do what we can do on a creative side. So it's always a productive and a creative side of it, even though when we hang out, so maybe that's why it looks like we produce a lot more than the usual that you would see.
But going back to the parenthood, Adam is mashallah. I've met him more than once, and I even follow him on Instagram. I've seen his work. He knows coding. You told me once that he also helped you in designing the logo for Duet.
Yep.
Right?
Shout out Adam. I think he's the genius in the house officially, because we took an IQ test and his result came out higher than all of us. He knows it. But yeah, he's starting to. Whenever we sit down and work on the idea or a presentation, we showed him, we share with him. He hear us talking. It's not like it's a parent and we're working and then you go to your room. It's we always involve him. Our friends are his friends, and it has been like that from the beginning. You saw him yesterday cheering for the whole crew. He wasn't just screaming my name; he was screaming everybody's name. And that has been, I don't know, from day one. We've been lucky with Adam.
Mashallah.
And we also consider him as a friend also, and we always share what's happening with our life, even our budget, how much expenses we have. So he knows and he's aware, and maybe
And
because
not
we
to
had-
request more extra requests.
and
Maybe.
I mean, in 2019 we went to Tokyo, and then when we come back, we told him how much it cost us the whole trip, and he get a box, and he put a Japanese flag on it, and he's saving money for Tokyo to go back again,
Wow.
and he come up with the idea every time we curse, we pay 5 dirhams.
that's how he can earn.
We wanted to do that in our show, but
I
the
think
way-
you should
but the
do
jar,
it. You
we
should
might
do
have
it.
broke it, but the first
We could go back to Japan twice with the amount of cursing comes out of my phone call. When I hang up, I turn around. He said 50 dirham. 50 dirham. Just one phone call.
So he's more like a police officer
It's
around.
right there, and he would not even miss it. You know, but we try to teach him in a way that it's not easy to earn the money, and then you know, there is a way you can do it.
Also, like because we had him in early age, so we treated him
There
like
has been
nephew.
this connection
Yes.
between you and him.
Yeah.
Because I do actually believe that at a certain age, when you start having kids, yes, you do start having less of a connection. I'm not gonna say it's a disconnection, but you start connecting less maybe with your kid.
It's the age gap kind
Exactly,
of.
and it's the generations, you know.
Probably,
the
yeah.
stuff that between you and them, it's a bit different. But I mean, yeah, it makes sense if you say that you're friends with your son. It's because maybe when you had the son, is you know, you were younger, you had that, you know, the mental capacity, the and plus, like, look, you said that you're friends, you know.
exactly.
That's also one thing as
And
well.
plus, we are smart. We know how to stay cool. And the only way you can remain cool for longer is if you're closer to your son and the
True.
younger ones.
True.
And in that way, you know
understand
what's
their role
happening.
as well.
You
Yeah.
know what's happening, and you know how to
You're
predict
more in
the
touch
future.
with it, yeah.
Exactly, based
Yeah.
on what they're doing, and we want to stay cool forever. You know.
Only when it comes to technology, we're still like Fahim in that part is like always makes fun of us. It's like, you don't know, how did you do that?
Yeah, it's shout out to
That's
Fahim.
where we realize how old we
But
are.
he's so far ahead. I mean, he codes, so that's
Yeah.
that's like where levels to reach.
Moving on, is this your first proper event that you worked with in Abu Dhabi?
Well, it's in our corporate world. We've done an event for the brands that we work
Okay.
with, not just in Abu Dhabi, the whole GCC.
Yeah.
We looked after a lot of the brands, but from our side, from our own company, this is the first one
A
that we
proper
collaborate
event,
and
yeah.
work with the team and Bred to bring it. You know, you saw them in the past 3-4
Coming
days.
to
for
life,
Abu
yeah,
Dhabi.
it was-
And I think the city deserved this.
True.
One, and second, being able to see a lot of talent that came out of Abu Dhabi, I mean, it's unbelievable. It's overwhelming, unbelievable.
And how everyone is like taking part and supporting each other. It's just beautiful, yeah.
Continuing on that question as well, you've worked in events as yourselves only in Dubai.
Yeah.
What are the main key differences that you have witnessed with this and the events that you worked in Dubai? What makes this city stand out? You know, at the end of the day, yet they all represent the UAE eventually. You know, but
For me, I didn't see much of a difference. It's 40 minutes away. It's the same people.
yeah. Fuad, because
but
me and you
it's-
were standing yesterday and you were telling me, yo, I didn't expect all of that.
Yeah,
You know?
there is this stigma or a stereotype that Dubai you can pull off people as easy you want it, and it's most probably people would come after work when you do an event. It doesn't matter if it is a smaller or bigger scale. And a lot of the brands, their headquarters is based in Dubai, and when they do an event, it's happening there. And then Dubai has always been having these events constantly that you expected something to happen in the next month, and it, you know, you always look forward to. When it's happened in Abu Dhabi, you kind of see it in a way. This is happening in Abu Dhabi. I don't know. We're seeing it because we're based in Dubai, and we need to drive there. We need to plan it, and
Okay,
then see how we can, you know.
I mean, for people in Abu Dhabi, we never had this issue.
Yeah, because you're here and it's easier, right? And
No, I mean, going to Dubai, attending.
because that been happening for quite
yeah,
some
that's
time
true.
for you guys.
We're
yeah.
used to it, maybe.
You kind of used to it. There is a distraction outside. But why not having it here?
True.
You know, I think the country, the city, both cities, or even Sharjah or the rest of it, we need a lot more of this. This promotes one, collaborative. Second, it's the kids that are growing up here will be able to see this is actually happening in the city that I grew up with. No, I don't need to move to Dubai to be part of, you know, a cultural event, something like this. You know.
And speaking about Bragg and Bred and this event, can you take us a bit through your involvement here in Bred?
So myself, Raha, and Fahim from Duet and CC company that we curated the retail side of it, of the event, and that has been what an experience to be able to work with brands. I reached out to a lot of the brands as far as Morocco, from the
Yes.
region, to be able to bring. Unfortunately, with the time frame we have and the production, and you know, this was announced in the last minute for everybody, was the surprise. But look,
It was great learning of pulling out in a short time.
yeah.
Yeah. And everyone was very supportive and yeah. Everyone was super excited that this is going to happen in Abu Dhabi.
So for those 4 days in and so far, so how do you think this turns out? Only putting two months effort in it, and what do you think the ripple effect after that? What is the? Is it going to impact the GCC, the MENA region? Is it going to be the next hub for this type of?
Definitely legacy needs to carry on until next year, you know?
I mean, there will be a lot that's going to come out of this. One thing is, don't forget, it's going to be a reference to whatever is going to come.
Yeah.
If somebody is cooking something in their mind, they're going to say,
Now they have the
just
blueprint
like
for
Bred,
it. Yeah.
you know?
Instead
It's,
of referring to international.
any other event. Now you left a reference for anybody else. It's a blueprint to anybody else wants to do anything else. And yeah, that's the legacy is going to be for this. And then the other ones are There are multiple stages here. You've seen a performance happening in both stages. A-listers performing at the back. Still people are on the front with the local dancing or b-boys or the artists performing. That tells you a lot you need to know about the people from here. It's their root to their own, you know what I mean? And that tells you what you need to know about Abu Dhabi.
Guys, not so much left of time for us, and we're gonna do this again. And 100%. We've already agreed on that. But as creatives as us and creatives as you, we're happy with this drag event. How do you feel about this?
I don't
On a
know, we're
personal
still
term.
working. We're still working, so for us it's still here. We couldn't
Digest
have
yet?
a moment to
Yeah,
say
yeah.
has been done, but I mean every day gets better.
Good feedbacks that we've been receiving so far. Everyone's been happy.
Yeah, if you stand in the corner and look over and other people are having a good time, that's how you reflected. But yeah, I mean, we still have today.
Most of the events you see that happens, usually there is like VIP section.
Yeah,
You can
yeah,
get
yeah.
Here you can see it's like
It's
a street.
all-
We just
yeah,
everywhere together having fun. Nobody's like,
That's nice.
no one is. It's just like regular.
People are chilling.
Yes, exactly. That's the beauty, I think.
And before we close, is there a message like you'd like to convey to the young creators, the people who want to follow in your footsteps?
I'm still
Just
looking for that.
consistency.
Yeah.
I guess consistency and
That's second guess.
yeah, because if you just
It is,
yeah, and
I
then don't
believe.
care what others think.
True.
Take their feedback, but believe in yourself, and just consistency will take you far. I think. I mean, I'm telling this, but I'm telling myself same.
Reminding yourself
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, don't.
No, but it's easy to say consistency, but it's not easy to do
Maintain it.
consistently,
Yeah.
But what I'm gonna say is just do something, because you have that to start to push yourself. Whenever an opportunity or you meet somebody else, to start to talk to them. I'm actually doing this, and from there you can build. And it's not gonna be easy.
And-
You're gonna fail.
Also, I always say to all the friends, whoever come with advice, is like, also don't be afraid to go and knock the door and ask advice and ask help. Like people
Reach
are,
out always.
Yes.
Keep reaching out.
yeah, and don't just sit and expect someone to come to you. Do it. If you ask, they will help. And in UAE, like everyone is super supportive. So yeah, just knock the door.
And don't be in your own bubble.
Yeah.
Go outside and see what other
Meet
people are
people.
doing.
Surround yourself with
Yeah,
others.
it's that's the way you learn. You don't need to talk to just to talk to the other person to get a feedback, but watch them how they do it. Every move they do, you learn something, and that's what we do. We're learning still with other people, and we're watching everyone. We're watching you guys doing it,
Yeah.
what you do,
Yeah, but like if you surround yourself with better people, then
It keeps you going.
learn,
Yeah.
Motivated.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, I think this is everything for the first session today.
Thank you.
Fuad Raha, thank you very much. Thank you very much for
Appreciate it.
sitting
Shout
down,
out
having a sit down with us.
Flamingo.
Thank you, bro. Yeah, thank you for the sign as well.
I know.
But yo, this is everything for our first session. Make sure you tune in to our second session today as well. This was everything for now. We'll be back today. This is Yad.
Hands on the mic.
You know what?
Stop laughing. And this
I'm
is
not laughing.
Raha and Fuad. Peace.
Thank you.